Hello my dear young friends, beloved students, welcome back to C level physics. My name is Srinivas. Today I would like to explain projectile motion from the top of tower and it is projected along horizontal. Okay, that's what horizontal projectile, right? Here see, this is what one tower of height capital H. This is what top of the tower. From this top, that is point O. From this point O, body is projected horizontal with some initial velocity u, right? So this is what point of projection, right? If there is no gravity acting on the body, then the body will have traveled along straight line like this. See, this is what velocity of projection, right? It will travel along this line, straight line, if at all there is no gravity on the body. But fortunately here, body is acted upon by some gravitational force. So accordingly, it has some acceleration along vertical direction, right? So here, what is the component of velocity along vertical initial at point O means? See this what is the angle here? 90 degrees. So this velocity finds zero component, no component along vertical. Why? Because what is the component here? U cos 90, U cos 90, that is 0. This is what u along y. Initial velocity along y-axis, that is u cos 90, that is g. So there is no vertical velocity at point of projection, right? But still it is acted upon by gravitational force. Gravitational force. See, gravity is acting vertically downwards, right? Even though there is no velocity along vertical direction at point of projection, because of gravity, vertical velocity increases with the time as shown. See here, what is vertical velocity? 0. Somewhere here increases little bit like that. Somewhere here increases little bit like that. Here increases little bit like that. Right? Here further increases. Right? So if you join all these points like that, this would be the path of the particle. Path of the particle. Why to consider all these vertical lines side by side means here because of horizontal velocity, right? Because of this component or because of this velocity, particle moves forward, right? So therefore the vertical motion not confined to single line, right? It confined to different adjacent lines like this. See here vertical component of velocity uy 0. Here increases a little bit, here also increases further, here increases furthermore and increases furthermore like that. So it becomes maximum just before striking the ground. So at every point we can have horizontal component also. What is horizontal component? Remains same, which is u at point of projection. See this is what horizontal component, this is what horizontal component, this is what horizontal component. So remains same at every instant, which is same at the point of projection, right? So here also horizontal component of projection. See this is what path of the projected body, path of the projected body, right? Here what is the vertical component of velocity here? uy 0 at point of projection. But because of gravity, vertical component of velocity increases with the time like that. Increases with the time. So symbolically to make you understand, I drew with larger and larger length for the vertical component of velocity. Here 0, here somewhat increases, here further increase, here further increase, here further increase. So it becomes maximum just before striking the ground. So vertical component gradually increases from 0 up to maximum, right? But what about the horizontal component? Remains same. Even at point of projection or at this point or at this point, at this point, at this point, horizontal component, that is ux, that is ux equal to u, velocity of projection. Why? Because entire velocity is along x-axis, so ux becomes u, velocity of projection. But here uy, what is uy? Initial velocity along vertical 0. Why? Because entire velocity is along horizontal. It finds no component along vertical at point of projection O, that is uy 0. Why? Because here angle is 90, so no vector finds no vector finds its component perpendicular to itself. See, this is what one vector, it finds zero component along perpendicular direction. But as gravity is acting on the body, this vertical component increases gradually with time. Right? So if you join all these positions, you will get the path or trajectory. What is this path? Parabola. That's what here shown. See, this is what path of the projected object line. Path of the projected object. Right? So it strikes somewhere here on the ground. This is what ground. Okay. Now this is what velocity of projection blue. O means point of projection. H means height of the tower. Now I am taking 2 points on the trajectory somewhere here P. This is what point P. Right? What is the time elapsed by reaching this position means time T equal to T. Here what is the time T equal to 0 at the point of projection. After T seconds it reaches point P with position coordinates x comma minus y. What is x here? X means horizontal displacement covered here. This is what x. What is y? Y means vertical displacement covered. Otherwise, this is the height through which body descends. See here, this is what? This is what? Vertical displacement or distance through which body descends. Y. Okay. So this is what? Y. So on reaching position P, horizontal distance or displacement covered is x, vertical displacement covered is y. But as per sign convention, y means below the point of projection. Therefore, as it is negative axis, take with the negative sign. So x is positive, y is negative. That is x comma minus 1. Now somewhere here I am taking one more point, the O, P, A. It is A. At point A, assign the coordinates. See, this is what? Total horizontal distance covered in entire flight. So usually this is what? Range. X component is range. This is what? Range. So horizontal distance covered in entire flight. That is what? Horizontal range. So x component is range from here to there. Now what about y component? Y means from the top up to here. This is what? Y component. Usually height of the tower or height of the elevation from which body is projected. Here it is height of the tower. So what is y coordinate here? H with negative sign. It is minus h. Why to take negative sign means, see, vertical displacement covered in entire flight means h with negative sign. Why? Because displacement from point of projection up to here. Take line segment like that, downwards. So h with negative sign. So position coordinates here r comma minus h, here x comma minus y. Here 0 0. Here 0 comma 0. So here at the point of projection, x coordinate 0, y coordinate 0. So not yet moved here. Right? Now what are the parameters here? You have to study time of flight, range and displacements, instantaneous velocities, etc. Right? But here one important point worth to note. What is that important point? Usually you know that along horizontal and along vertical assign the accelerations. Along vertical, what is acceleration? That is acceleration due to gravity because of gravitational force. So Ay equal to minus g as per sign convention. Why? Because g acting downwards along negative axis. That's why Ay equal to minus g. Along horizontal, what is the x component of acceleration along horizontal? 0. Why? Because since force along x is 0. So along x there is no force, there is no gravity or there is no other force along horizontal. So which implies that 0 acceleration along horizontal. So Ax 0 since Fx is 0. But Ay is minus g since Fg, that is gravitational force, is acting downwards. So here it is with negative sign, here it is 0. Right? Okay. Now as there is no force along horizontal, so horizontal velocity remains same throughout the journey. So here what is the horizontal velocity? Ux, that is u. Here also Vx, that is u only. Here also Vx, that is u only. Here also Vx, that is u only. Here Vx, that is u only. So horizontal motion is uniform motion. Horizontal motion is uniform motion. Now what about vertical motion here? Suppose ui 0 here. Here it is Vy1, here it is Vy2, here it is Vy3, here it is Vy4, right? Now assign the values of vertical component velocity here. Uy means what? Uy, that is 0, less than Vy1, less than Vy2, less than Vy3, up to so. So gradually vertical component increases from 0 to maximum, right? At a constant rate. Why? Because gravitational force at a given place is constant. So acceleration along downwards constant. So therefore, here vertical velocity is uniformly accelerated motion. Horizontal velocity, the vertical motion is uniformly accelerated motion, whereas horizontal motion is uniform motion. So here, in this case, when body is projected horizontally from top of the tower, the motion of that body is to be taken as combination of two mutually perpendicular 1D motions. One is along x-axis, uniform motion, another one is along y-axis, that is uniformly accelerated motion. In other words, freely falling body. See here, Uy0, but gradually velocity along y-axis increases at a constant rate. Therefore, that is equivalent to say that the body dropped freely from certain height. So, how to assign this motion of this projectile, horizontal projectile means, how to assign two ways. Along horizontal, uniform motion. Along vertical, uniformly accelerated motion. Uniformly accelerated motion. In other words, freely falling body. So motion of this horizontal projectile is to be taken as combination of two mutually perpendicular 1D motions, one dimensional motions. So along x it is uniform motion, right? Along y it is behaves like freely falling body, means uniformly accelerated motion. So these two motions collectively forming the motion of horizontal projectile. So it's a combination of two motions. One is uniform motion along horizontal, another one is uniformly accelerated motion along negative y-axis, otherwise freely falling body along negative y-axis. Okay, right? Now let us see some important points here. First one, how to prove the path of this projectile is parabola. Right? Path of any projectile is parabola. Why? Because of two components. Your path will never move along straight line. It moves along curved path. So therefore, path is parabola. Whatever the kind of projectile, right? So how to prove the same here also. First point. See, first point to prove path as parabola. To prove path as parabola. So for that, what I am doing, I took one point P with position coordinates x comma minus y on its trajectory. So what is the time taken by the particle to reach by this position means t. Here it is t equal to 0, here it is time t equal to t. Right? Okay. Now I am taking s equal to ut plus half h square along x-axis. That is s equal to ut plus half at square along x. So sx, ux, ax. Right? For what point? For point p x comma y. For point p x comma y. Right? Now sx means what? X coordinate. Ux means what? Ux is what? Ux. In fact, ux, initial velocity along x-axis. That's what velocity of projection. That is u. So ux means u and t plus half into ax. What is the acceleration along x-axis? That is ax equal to 0, ay equal to minus g. That is ax means 0 into t square. So x equal to ut implies t equal to x by u, number 1. Now take the same expression along y-axis, along negative y-axis, that is s equal to ut plus of at square. So take apply along y-axis, that is sy uy k. Sy means what? Sy means y. Right? Sy equal to y. Uy means what is the vertical velocity along y-axis at point of projection? Uy 0. Uy 0 into t plus of ay means minus g. Ay minus g. Here sy means minus y. Sy from here to there. Right? On reaching position P, what is the vertical displacement covered by the body from here to there? That is y with negative sign towards negative y-axis. That's why minus y. So 0 into t plus of minus of minus j into t square. So here 0 minus minus cancel. Y equal object t square. So y equal to of g t square. Right? That is y equal to of g t square. What is t here? T means x by u from expression number 1. T equal to x by u. Why terminate t means what is the equation of trajectory? The relation between x and y coordinates without the involvement of time. So we have to eliminate time such that we have relation between x and y. That's what required equation for path. That is y equal to g by 2 u square constant into x square. Here x and y variables as body moves in air. Am I right? So as body moves in air, with the time both x and y changes, but here time is not there in the expression. Individually both x and y changes with the time, but and we are not showing time in the expression. We are showing variation of y with respect to x or variation of x with respect to y. That's all. So that's what equation of motion. So g is constant, 2 straight away constant, u velocity of projection constant. So g by 2 is square, 1 constant. Replace g by 2 is square by writing some constant k. So y equal to this word k. So y equal to kx square. Y equal to g by 2 is square into x square. G by 2 is square, some constant k. So y equal to kx square means this is one of the equations for parabola. Why? Because y coordinate is proportional to some constant. Y is proportional to x square. Y equal to some constant 4a into x square. General form. Right? So this is what equation of parabola. So equation of parabola. So we came to know that when body is projected horizontally from certain elevation, the path followed by that body is on parabola. See, this is what the path. Why to cover this much of horizontal distance means because of horizontal velocity. Why to cover this much of vertical displacement in entire motion means because of gravity. So combined effect makes the body to move along parabolic path. Right? So that's what equation of parabola. Now coming to displacement. How to find displacement? See here, on reaching P in time t, what are the coordinates, positional coordinates covered? Means what are the displacements covered along x and y? Means along x meters, along y axis y meters. Alright? So here x equal to ut plus number 2. Here only number 2. What is the point? Number 2. So first point is over. That is to prove path as parabola. Over. Now second point, displacement. To find displacement. Number 2. To find displacement. Right? What is the displacement? Same expression valid here also. S equal to ut plus of x square along x. That is x equal to ut. X equal to ut. Here no need to write t. right? X equal to ut. Now along y sy equal to ut plus half its square, that is minus y so and so. So y equal to half gt square. Y equal to half gt square, right? Y equal to half gt square. Okay. Now I am highlighting these two components. Y downwards, x rightwards. X rightwards, y downwards. So here it is x. Here it is y. Now what is the displacement here? A line segment joining from initial position to final position. This is what displacement. Here it is displacement S. S bar, otherwise position vector R. So sometimes position vector becomes displacement. So here R bar, otherwise S bar is displacement or position vector. Right? Now how to write S bar here? S bar or R bar equal to S bar, otherwise R bar is equal to x into I cap plus y. Y means y into j cap minus j cap. Why to take minus j means what is the unit vector along y axis? Negative y axis minus j. So xi plus y into minus j, that is equal to S bar, otherwise R bar equal to what is x here? X means ut. X equal to ut. Y equal to half gt square. So express in terms of vector notation for displacement or position vector. Xi, x means uti, uti plus or minus minus, y means half gt square, half gt square into j cap. So uti minus half gt square j. This is what displacement vector. Displacement vector, right? Now what is the magnitude mod S bar? That is mod R bar. Modulus of displacement from here to there. This is what displacement. Modulus. See, modulus. So on taking modulus, root over x square plus y square, x component square plus y component square. That is ut whole square plus minus half gt square whole square. Minus becomes positive on taking square. That is half gt square whole square. No need to write negative sign. Why because here minus square means positive. So ut whole square plus half gt square whole square. Right? So that's how one can find displacement at any given instant and reaching some point P. Right? So x component, we have to find x component, y component and express in terms of vector notation. That is xi plus y into minus j. Y into minus j. Now number 3, to find time of flight. Number 3, to find time of flight. How to find time of flight? What is time of flight? The total time for which body remains in air. See, here it is point of projection. It is the point at which it lands on the ground. So this is what entire flight is the total time taken by the projectile to reach from O up to point E on the ground. So here it is R comma minus h, right? Okay, this is what entire flight. So in entire flight, what is the vertical displacement covered? Minus h. See, along vertical, body clears entire height of the tower on reaching ground. So therefore, h with negative sign becomes vertical displacement covered. Why to take negative sign? Why? Because the displacement is along vertical, right? So take s equal to ut plus of ut square along vertical. That is sy, uy here. Sy. What is sy? H with negative sign. H with negative sign in entire flight. That is the displacement covered by the projectile. That is uy. What is the vertical velocity at point of projection? There is no velocity along vertical at the point of projection. So uy 0 to t. T means what here? Capital T. Time of flight. Plus half into ay means minus g. Capital T square. So here it is 0 plus or minus cancel. We left with h equal to half gt square. What is the time of flight here? Time of flight equal to root over 2h by g. This is the total time for which body remains in air. Otherwise, this is the time taken by the projectile, this projectile to reach ground after projection. So root over 2h by g. This is nothing but equation in case the body dropped from certain height, means for freely falling body. So here, when body is projected horizontally from certain elevation, right, it has two components of velocity, except at all points except the highest point, right, from which it was projected. So at this point only uy0. At all remaining points, it has vertical component of velocities, right? So therefore, vertical motion is freely falling. So h equal object square, t equal root 2h by g. Horizontal motion is uniform motion. Okay. Now, how to find range? So time of flight, we got expression for time of flight. Simply, this is what equation for a freely falling body. Simply, right? Now coming to range, number 4. To find range, horizontal range or range. To find horizontal range or range, right? Range. To find range. Range in the sense basically horizontal distance covered in the entire flight. So have to consider s equal ut plus half h square along x-axis. So s equal to ut plus half h square along x. So sx dx ax. So what is sx? Displacement covered along x-axis in entire flight, that is range. So sx means range. U means initial velocity. Prime x means here, suffix x means along x. So what is the initial velocity along x means entire velocity with which it is projected, that is u. So u into t means capital T, right? Why? Because while calculating range, we have to substitute time as time of flight, that is r equal u capital T plus half into ax means 0. Half into ax means 0 into t square. That is range equal to u into capital T. That is u into capital T means what? Root 2h by g. Root over 2h by g. So this is what expression for range. Right? R equal u t. Why it is r equal u t? Distance equal speed into time. Varied in case of uniform motion. Why? Because here acceleration term becomes 0. Second term 0. Simply distance equal speed into time in case of uniform motion. Right? That is range equal to velocity of projection. Horizontal range equal to horizontal velocity of projection into total time of flight. That is r equal to ut. T means root 2h by g. So that's how one can find displacement, time of flight, and range. Now coming to one numerical here. So I am taking numerals here. One numerical here. What is the velocity of projection here? That is 50 meter per second. 50 meter per second. What is the height of the tower here? That is 20 meter. 20 meter. Right? Okay. Now, what is the time of flight? Now, what is the time taken by the projectile to reach ground? Means time of flight. What is the time of flight? That is t equal to root over, on proceeding like that, directly we can substitute in the final expression, that is t equal root over 2h by g. 2 into h means what? H 20 meter. Here no need to consider negative sign. Why? Because already sign convention taken in the beginning only. So in the expression no need to take sign convention. Simply we have to substitute values. That is 2 into h means what? 20 by g means what? For example, at 10. So 0 0 cancel, root 2 square, that is 2. So 2 seconds. 2 seconds. So it takes 2 seconds to reach the ground for this numerals. Right? Now what is the range here? What is the range? What is the horizontal range covered on landing on the ground? That is range equal to u into t. What is U? U means velocity of projection along horizontal, that is 50. 50 into time of flight, otherwise root 2 h by g. Already root 2 h by g found here, that is 2 seconds. So U into t, 2 seconds. That is range equal to 100 meter. 100 meter. Okay, 100 meter. Right? Sometimes question will be like this. Suppose one helicopter heading horizontally at an altitude of so and so height, means at an altitude of say 500 meter, right, which is flying horizontally at a speed of 250 meters per second. Now it drops one foot packet onto the ground. Now, what is the time taken by the foot packet and what is the horizontal distance covered by the packet on reaching the ground? So question will be like this. How to find the same procedure? Suppose here I am taking like this. See? The question is like this. Question is like this. Suppose this is what one helicopter heading at an altitude means h, that is 500 meter. Helicopter heading horizontally with a speed of u, the speed of 250 meters per second. 250 meters per second, right? At an altitude of 500 meter. Now, from the window of the helicopter, pilot drops on foot packet. See this word foot packet, for example, right? With respect to ground, when it is dropped, it's not at all freely falling with respect to person who is standing on the ground. Why? Because this is dropped from horizontally moving helicopter. So, whatever the speed of helicopter, that will be taken by the packet as initial velocity. So here, what is the velocity of the packet here? Even though it is dropped like that, it has some initial velocity around horizontal. See this word u, 250 meters per second. In fact, this word velocity of horizontally heading flight, but same only becomes initial velocity for the foot packet, right? So with respect to person who is standing on the ground, this is equal to, packet is equal to, see this word packet is equal to horizontally projected projectile from some elevation. See, one packet is projected from the top of the tower, right? Then it takes parabolic path. So here also same. So here, from this horizontally heading aeroplane or helicopter, one packet is dropped by the pilot. So it takes parabolic path line. See, in fact, this is the axis from which it is projected, right? So this is what range. What is the time here? T equal to capital T. Now the question is, find the time taken by the packet to reach the ground and what is the horizontal distance covered. So both are question mark, R and time of flight. So what are the particulars here? Height is 500 meters. When it is heading at an altitude of 500 meters, packet was dropped, right? With respect to pilot, that is dropped, but with respect to ground, that is projected horizontally from some elevation, right? Therefore, it takes parabolic path. So it covers some horizontal distance and it takes some time to reach ground. So both are unknown. What is the time taken here? Simply, what is the time taken by the packet to reach the ground means, that is T equal to, here T equal to root 2h by g, that is root over 2h, 2 into height of the flight, that is 500 meters. 500 meters by g, for example 10. So root 100, 2 into 50, that is 100. Root 100 means 10 seconds. So within 10 seconds, the packet will reach the ground, will reach the victims, right? Now range, what is the horizontal range covered by the packet? See this one packet reaches here, packet reaches here. Now what is the horizontal range covered means here, that is u into t. R equal to u into t. So R means, u means what? U. What is the velocity of, constant velocity of flight here? That is 250 meters per second. 250 into time of flight, that is 10 seconds. So range equal to 2500 meters. 2500 meters. So that's how one can find time taken by the packet and horizontal range covered by the packet when it is dropped from the horizontally heading aeroplane or flight or helicopter, right? Okay, now we are going to determine instantaneous velocity. Suppose on reaching position P, it possesses both horizontal as well as vertical components of velocity, right? So what is the instantaneous velocity along tangential? So it has vertical component, it has horizontal component. So here it is Vx, it is Vy. It is V, net velocity. That is V equal to root over Vx square plus Vy square. So let us see that concept also, right? Okay, now on reaching position P, what is the time taken here? Time equal t seconds. So here a particle or projectile possesses two components for velocity. One along x-axis, that be Vx, instantaneous velocity along horizontal. That becomes equal to Ux. Why? Because there is no acceleration along x. So therefore, in entire motion, horizontal velocity remains same, which is same as at the point of projection. That is Vx becomes equal to Ux. That is u, velocity of projection. Velocity of projection, right? Okay. Now what is vertical component of velocity? Vy. Vy. Of course here what is Uy? 0. At the point of projection vertical velocity 0, but because of gravity it develops with the time, right? So here it possesses some finite value for vertical component of velocity. Right, so I am writing here same only. I am writing here in two ways. See this what? Vx, that is Ux, that is u. Here vertical component Vy. So we can find Vy, vertical component of velocity, in two ways. One in terms of y component, one more in terms of time. See here like that. Suppose there are two ways you can find vertical component of velocity. See what is the point here? P x comma y, P x comma y, time t equal to t. So what is the time taken by the projectile to reach P from O means t seconds. Position coordinates x comma y. Here x comma y. So x horizontal displacement x, vertical displacement y. Okay, so two ways. Suppose take v square minus u square equal to 2ax along y-axis. Along y-axis, right? That is, it is Vy, it is Uy. What is Uy here? Uy is 0. Here Uy at point of projection, Uy, that is 0. Why? Because entire velocity is along horizontal. So perpendicular to itself, there is no component at the point of projection. So here along vertical, initially velocity is 0, Uy 0. So here Vy develops. What is Vy? Vy square minus Uy 0 at the point of projection equal to 2 into Ay means minus G. Sy. What is Sy on reaching position P? What is the vertical displacement covered? Sy means y with negative sign. Y with negative sign. See, this is what vertical displacement covered. So y with negative sign. Y with negative sign. That is Vy square equal to minus plus 2Gy. So Vy equal to root over 2Gy. Root over 2Gy, right? So this is what vertical component of velocity in terms of y coordinate. Y coordinate means through which it descends. Through which, see, this is the initial level of body. After time t it reaches this position means it has to descend this much of distance. So y means vertical displacement covered. Otherwise, this is a vertical distance through which body descends. Now, in terms of time, v equal to u plus at. So we have to find vy in terms of time, right? V equal to u plus at. Why? Because only time taken by the projectile to reach P from O means that is t seconds. Now, we can take Vy equal to Uy plus Ay t. Vy unknown. Uy 0. Vertical velocity at the point of projection 0. Plus Ay means minus g. That is Vy equal to minus gt. Of course, here Vy square is equal to 2gy. Vy equal to plus or minus root 2gy. In fact, plus or minus. But as body moves downwards along vertical, we have to consider negative sign. That is Vy equal to minus root 2gy. Here Vy equal to minus gt. So we have two expressions for vertical component of velocity. One in terms of y-coordinate or vertical displacement covered. One more in terms of time. If you are given time, go with this relation. If you are given vertical displacement covered, go with this relation. But horizontal component remains same. Now, what is the net velocity here? Net velocity means, see, this is what Vx, this is what Vy, this is what net velocity. Net velocity. This is what net velocity. Right? Now, V equal to Vx into I cap plus Vy into minus j cap, negative y direction. Okay. Now, what is the angle made by net velocity with horizontal or x component of velocity means, say alpha or pi, alpha for example. Right? Now, I am going to express net velocity or instantaneous velocity in terms of components. Now, what is velocity? V equal to V bar equal to Vx into I cap. Vx into I cap plus Vy into minus j cap. That is Vy into minus j cap. Vx into I cap plus Vy into minus j cap. So V bar at P, at point P, net velocity or instantaneous velocity at point P can be written as Vx means what? U. Vx means Ux, that is U, velocity of projection along horizontal. U, I. Plus or minus Vy. We can write two ways, either this form or this form. I am writing this one initially, that is minus. Already negative sign is taken here, so no need to take one more time. Root 2gy into j cap, right? Okay, this is one form, right? One more form. Ui, Vx means U only, Ui. Right? Plus or minus. Vy means what? Gt. Gt, j cap. So this is another form. Either this form or this form. What is the net velocity or instantaneous velocity? Mod Vp. Take mod Vp. Modulus means speed or magnitude of velocity. Take root over x component square plus y component square. The x component means u square plus minus root 2gy whole square means 2gy. U square plus or minus, right? See like that, plus minus root 2gy whole square. So here root over x component square plus y component square minus gt whole square. Right? So what is mod Vp equal to root over u square plus 2gy. Otherwise root over u square plus g square is square. Right? So that's how we can have two expressions to find speed or magnitude of velocity at a given point on the path after time t from the point of projection. Right? Now, what is the direction of motion here? Direction of motion means, see, this is what net velocity or instantaneous velocity at point P. Now, angle made by Vp with the horizontal, that is alpha. So, tan alpha, opposite side by outside. See, opposite means Vy, outside means Vx. So, tan alpha I am writing here tan alpha. Tan alpha equal to Vy by Vx. Vy by Vx. Vy by Vx. Vy means either this one or this one. That is one form. Root 2gy by Vx means u. Otherwise, gt by u. gt by u. So tan alpha Vy by Vx, that is root 2gy by u or gt by u. Alpha equal to tan inverse of. Find alpha. So alpha equal to tan inverse of root 2gy by u. Otherwise, tan inverse of gt by u. gt by u. So that's how one can find the direction of motion of projectile in a given time. Correct? Okay. Suppose what is the angle with which it makes the ground on landing? Suppose I'm writing, I want to know angle made by final velocity with the ground. See here it is vertical component, here it is horizontal component, like that. Vx, that is ux, that is u only along horizontal. Vy means what? We have two forms. Minus root 2gy, that is equal to minus root 2gy. Y means what? Y means total height. Why? Because this is the point on the ground. So vertical displacement covered is height of the tower, that is 2gy. Y means h. One more form, minus this one for Vy, that is minus gt. Right? Now what is the angle made by the net velocity? This is what net velocity here. Net velocity. Tangential line. See, this is what net velocity, for example. Net velocity. See, here it is alpha. Alpha means Vy by Vx. Once again. So alpha means tan alpha Vy by Vx. Vy means what? Minus root 2j. Minus root 2j. Ux means what? Minus j. Ux means u. So therefore root 2j h. Y means here h. Y becomes h. Right? So here gt by u. T means what? Capital T. Here T means what is Vy in the second form, that is minus g into t. Right? If the point lying on the ground, small t becomes capital T, that is total time of flight. So capital T here. Capital T. So replace small t by writing capital. So tan alpha Vy by Vx, root 2j by u, that is g capital T by u. So here alpha equal tan inverse root 2gy means capital H. Here tan inverse g capital T by u. Okay. So that's how we can find horizontal range, time of flight, instantaneous velocity, and to prove path as parabola for body projected horizontally from some elevation. Okay friends, if you are really impressed with my video, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day. Thank you.